Welcome back. Rental housing discrimination comes in different forms, from ethnic discrimination to gender discrimination. But today, we'll be turning our searchlight on a common form of discrimination, which is discrimination based on marital status. Why do some landlords have issues with renting their house to bachelors or spinsters? That is across on Housing Matters today.
To my own understanding, is because of maybe the girl always comes out with guys at home, which the landlord does not entertain. If the landlord is a man of principle and the girl will not want to abide with that principle, definitely the landlord will not want to give his house to spinsters or bachelors. In the case of bachelors, there are some guys that are alcoholic, they drinks a lot, and this man that you are staying in his house, he doesn't tolerate things like that. So saying such things will prevent him from learning and renting his house to the either spinster or bachelor.
If there's a reason to not giving out the house to singles, is because maybe some landlords like decency, or maybe when their tenant packs out of the house, they want to at least meet the house the same way they rented it out. When you give a house to a single person, the person kind of like take it anyhow. They don't keep it the way you actually gave it to them. There's this house I know they rented to a youth couple. While she was packing out, she took some of the properties of the landlord, and which wasn't for her, as she was taking her own property. So I think that's just the main reason, if there's any reason like that, why landlords don't like giving their house to singles.
I think maybe it's because some of the bachelors cannot actually afford to rent some houses in some certain places. Do you understand? Maybe even the guy is also squatting with another one. One is also squatting another. You see a house, maybe a combination of more than 20 people living in the same place. So it actually brings destruction. Do you understand? A set of people will go out, they will come back around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. It is actually makes the other people in the compound to feel unsecured.
Whatever apartment you rent, there are rules guiding the use of that property. Our young ones these days find it difficult to apply to decorum. They find it difficult to obey these rules. We are in a hurry to copy America. We are in a hurry to copy what is happening abroad. But if, for instance, a landlord places a curfew, look, this is my apartment, young man, young lady, you're taking it for this period, please don't come home by this certain time. I have a curfew for this particular apartment. Then what happens? You see them breaking it. So these are one of the another angle, that brings some of these squabbles between them and their landlords. One particular thing, the peculiar problem we have in Nigeria is economy, especially within this particular year that we have. A lot of young people are in and out of jobs. They come to Abuja, they get a job, a good job, a well-paying job, they get a good apartment where they will stay. And suddenly, that particular firm, maybe is a private firm, starts to close up. And when it starts to close down, the next thing is it starts to lay off. It's not just private firms that employ them. Government parastatals, MDAs that are gradually thinning down. And this is affecting these young ones. So when they get these jobs, they get juicy packages, they maintain it for 1 year. By the second year, by the third year, they are unable to keep paying the rent. So I think these are the critical things that lead to youngsters having problem with their landlords.
Housing Development Program, your usual encyclopedia on housing matters.
Well, unfortunately, Nigerians, some landlords get away with this form of discrimination owing to the fact that there is really no law against it. But one thing is certain, as a young man or woman, you probably get to rent a mini apartment while living a single life. When it comes to the issue of housing, singles are treated differently. That is why many bachelors and spinsters have resorted to deceit in their quest to rent apartments. They go as far as introducing a fake husband or a fake wife to the property owner just for them to secure an accommodation. Is that fair enough? Well, join me after the break.